God dang, screens. I'm like, it's dark in here.
I think
Yeah,
this is the first time it's been white for me when we've recorded.
right? Yeah, it's always usually a fucking little dark hole there in the corner.
Even with the white screen thing, it's still really dark.
I've never really enjoyed going to the gym, to be honest. I did it in high school. You had to do like 1 year of normal PE and then like 1 year of a secondary PE, so you could do like just PE2, where you could do like yoga, weightlifting, and there's a few other things. So I did weightlifting for like the rest of high school because like I just had to fill in that slot. God damn it. So I just did weight training for 3 years and it was all right, but I was like, it was like, cause I was already there, fuck it, I might as well. But I was never like, oh, fucking can't wait to go to the gym today. Like, I don't know. I've always had like a slender body anyway, so like I don't have like this goal to get like muscular and swole, and since I'm already a healthy shape, I'm like,
Cool with it.
yeah.
So I mean, I tried putting on weight, and it just wasn't fucking happening. I had mass gainer. I was taking in like fucking 4,000 calories a day.
Goddamn,
Was not putting weight on,
that's crazy.
and I don't know why.
So that's the complete opposite of me. By the way, are you recording this? Cool. By the way, opposite with me was all through high school. I was a freaking beanpole because I'm like 6'2", or not 6'2". I'm 6 foot tall, and I was always like 145, 150 pounds. I was always like really slim. And then I think it wasn't until like after I got into the military, but I guess maybe because I was eating more and working out, I got up to about 180, and I was about a solid 180 for 3 years, and then now I'm the heaviest I've ever been was like 260, and that was like in college. I was just didn't care anymore, you know. Now I'm down to probably about 210, 215.
I don't
So
even know
the
what the fuck
weight,
I weigh.
yeah, the weight has never been a problem with me gaining. I actually talked to somebody one time. They were like, "How are you cutting? Like, how are you cutting like toning up and building like muscle at the same time?" Because they're like, usually you can only do one or the other. You can't do both at the same time. I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I work out and I eat and I just fucking do my thing.
Mhm.
They're like, but I'm trying to get back down to at least like 190 maybe. But I know I'm gonna have to continue going to the gym more often than I do.
Yeah.
But
I've
like I said,
also
it's the whole not having consistent hours at work and all that crap.
right. I've also always been able to like gain more strength, but I've never been tone. So like I've always stayed looking like a stick, but I've been able to lift a lot more over the years.
Like
Like
a sleeper build.
yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much. Cause like I'll be at work and someone's like, "Oh, do you need help with that?" And I'll sit there and lift a fridge, and they're like, "Oh," and I'm like, "No."
Yeah.
Yeah, it's. I'm assuming me and you have the same like body build then, where it's just fucking stick, but you get this weird strength.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like I was. I was 9.5 stone when I was 16, which is
9.5 stone.
9.5
that's
stone.
that's
Did
a
you put yourself on a
measurement of
fucking?
weight.
Oh, okay.
That's
I
a
was thinking.
measurement of weight.
I was thinking like one of
A
those
hun-
food scales, and you put yourself on there, and you started putting stones on the other side to equal your measurement. All right, lads, put the stones on the equalizer.
So
Make
it's
the scale.
133 pounds, which is like
Damn.
133.
which is
That's
like
like
ridiculously small.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
anorexic.
And I'm at about 205 to 10 now.
Mm-hmm.
So I've just progressively got fatter.
I don't even know what the
Wait,
fuck I weigh at
it
this
doesn't
point.
show though. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
my legs are a bit chunkier, but I've got quite strong leg muscles, like my
Got anime
squats.
thighs.
I think all my weight's in
OnlyFans.
my thighs and my ass.
You do have a
Yeah.
got a
No,
little
keep
dog
going.
nice
on me.
fucking circular ass.
All right. There it is.
got a little booty on
It's
me.
just, you've got to praise the boys once in a blue moon, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
It's not my fault. Griff's got a fucking peach on him.
Jesus. So I'll leave you guys alone. I'll end the recording for a bit. We can come back once you've fondled a bit, and
It's okay. This will be the after show.
oh, this will be the fucking Patreon part of the
Yeah,
episode.
this is part of the extra
Just me and Griff.
behind the
Yeah.
scenes.
It's just my empty chair. My empty chair. Yukro sitting there just fucking praising him, and his ass just smothered on the camera screen. He's like, yeah, yeah.
A little bit of baby oil.
Bounce it, bounce it.
Drop that shit. So I think something that Griff had mentioned, because by the way, welcome to the Three Guys No Script podcast, where
Dude,
we
what
don't
an
have
intro.
a script.
We don't have a script.
We don't have a script, obviously, but we do have a topic. And so one of the topics that Griff had come up with before we started was a hobby that you guys have always wanted to pursue but have not told anybody. I thought that was a good one for today.
I didn't even hear this. I'm gonna have to think about this on the spot now.
Yeah. I don't know if it's nothing. I don't know. I've had a few hobbies over the course of my life that I've like dabbled in. I don't know if there's any like secret hobbies that I've had. The things that I would really like to get back into if I had the time would be archery and tennis, because those two things were really fun when I was a kid. So I think I'd
Tennis?
pursue those.
Tennis seems fun, but god dang, that is a demanding sport. Like
It is.
constantly running around. Yeah, your cardio's got to be on point.
Well, that's the thing too, is it really only gets as like extraneous. What's the fucking word I'm looking for?
Strenuous.
Yeah, it only gets strenuous if you're not good. Because if you're
Right.
good enough, you can sit in one fucking position and have the other person like, running back and forth for that ball as long as you have control of it. But if you're sitting there and you're serving it directly to them again, and then they're gonna make you go back and forth. So really, it's as hard as you make it,
Right.
which is kind of fun.
I used to do badminton when I was younger.
Badminton, dude, I could never get into
Uh-uh.
badminton. I was fucking miserable at it.
I was on the like like northwest, northeast, southeast, southwest, all that type of shit. I was in the one of the top duo teams for the northwest region of England when I was
Oh,
like
nice.
I think it was when I was 13, 14, and 15
Hmm.
over the course of like 3 years.
It's pretty dope.
Never won anything,
Yeah,
but it was pretty good.
I
When,
will
uh,
say
the-
I was never good at tennis. I was in like the lower bracket of doubles, but it was fun. I enjoyed it. There were moments where like you would have to like I think it was like maybe every 3 or 4 months you would have to like play all your team members to see like where you'd be put in the bracket again. So like all the courts were filled in solo or like singles, and you'd fight them, and if you won you moved up a stage, and if you didn't you'd go back a stage, but if you were on the farthest stage back you would just stay there, and you'd work your way all the way up to the coach, and you would see how far you could get. And I think I made it one point all the way up to the coach, and then I obviously got my fucking ass handed to me. So at that point I think I maybe got like high doubles, but like he was like, yeah, you've got good skill, but you're still running around a little too much to be able to like fully go into singles. He's like, so I think you still need that backup support. He's like, so I'm gonna put you high doubles, and I was like, that's fine with me. I fucking ranked up. Yeah,
Man.
I loved it.
Do you have anything similar to tennis or badminton, Griff?
I mean, like sport wise, I used to play baseball, and I was very good at baseball. Um, this was all through like middle school, and I would have loved to have continued it through high school because, like, of all the sports, like I've played football, I enjoyed it, but my shining star was baseball, and I I was
My camera tilted.
fast. Is your camera tilted? Maybe. Anyway, I was fast, like extremely fast.
Looks fine.
Sprint, the whole 9 yards. And then I was also a switch hitter. So my coach would be like, hey, throw the pitcher off, bat left handed. I'm like, all right, freaking swing this way. And, it always screwed with people. But I loved baseball. And like I said, if I could have continued it through high school, I would have. But I joined the band, I was a drummer, and I had more passion towards music than I did sports, and I unfortunately couldn't do both. So I stuck with music. But
Yeah.
heck, the last time I played anything remotely close to baseball, I think I was in Japan when I was in the military. We all went out together towards like the end of our little deployment, and we played softball. And I ended up I ended up unintentionally like knocking somebody out.
Oh shit.
I was stealing second, going to third, and this dude was sitting in front of me. Next thing you know, I'm getting up off the ground and I'm on third base. Like, okay, cool, I made it. And everyone's like, "Yo, what the fuck?" I'm like, "What happened?" They're like, "You just RKO'd him." I was like, "What?" They're like, "Yeah, you ran up to him. He got in your way, and you just boom." I was like,
You just saw fucking
I,
red.
yeah, I was like, I don't remember doing that. I was like, but I made third base. Fuck
Yeah.
it.
Is there
Yeah, sport wise, it's baseball.
is there any like move or like thing that happens in your sport that just does it for you? Because I know a lot of people who play golf, they're like, when you get that perfect swing, it just something about it, like that's the dopamine hit for the sport. Is there
Mhm.
is there a dopamine hit for badminton and baseball?
Oh,
Because for me,
Like
it's slicing. If
a
you guys know what that
perfect
is,
smash is probably the best thing.
kind of like a volleyball spike.
So it's like you just fucking twat it into the ground, but like if you skim the net
Oh yeah,
barely,
just like barely get it over the net.
and it just dips perfectly. There's no time for reaction. It was a
Mhm.
perfect, like crisp connection with the middle of the racket. It just goes.
Yeah,
it's like
and you,
it's
and you
like a
hear the
spike
pink.
in volleyball.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's either that or when I did boxing, and it was like that the perfect like
Oh yeah.
roll under the punch.
Mm.
You feel like the wind go over your head. You're like, oh
Mhm.
shit, that was really fucking close.
Yeah, you got the adrenaline.
Mm.
Yeah,
I think my little like satisfying moment for baseball would probably be like, of course you got the home runs. It's like, yeah, the sound of a home run hitting, it sounds amazing.
yeah.
Or just like this crazy catch. But I think what gets me going the most is all the stuff that happens on the infield when
Ooh.
balls are just being darted at each other and they're catching stuff, tagging people, and then they throw it to the next, and it's just whoosh, 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 whoosh,
Yeah,
whoosh.
that is pretty
I'm like
satisfying.
the coordination and the just the intensity of them trying to be like, all right, this guy's running to this base. We have to throw the ball faster than
Hmm.
this. That whole thing, it just makes me like pumped up. And I don't even freaking watch baseball,
Yeah.
but
No, it is definitely fun to watch because you can see the ball just being perfectly connected between each person
mm,
like a fucking robot in sync.
and the guys are like stretching like
Hmm.
beyond human reaches and grabbing it. Yeah.
Yeah, for me it's slicing, if you guys know what that is. If the ball's coming towards you, if you slice the ball at a perfect angle, you can put a backspin on it. So when it goes over to the other person's net, it either hits the ground and then just bounces in place. So it just like, instead of like, continuing to bounce towards them, it just dead stops.
Mm,
Or if you get a perfect backspin, it'll hit and then bounce backwards back into the net. And if you
heck.
if you can do that, oh dude, because again, with badminton, you got no time to fucking react, and someone's like running towards the ball because like now they're like, back court waiting for the ball to get put to them, and it's bouncing in place so it trips them up. And I've had it
Mm,
before where I've back spun it and it bounced back over to my side of the net, and I'm like, what are you gonna do?
yeah. You're not fast enough.
Yeah, that's shit. That's definitely because it's hard to do too. Because if you don't do it correctly, you'll just smack your own net like full force. So yeah, it's very nice. Um, archery. I never
Oh
took
yeah.
I never took archery very seriously. My grandpa had land, or I guess he still does, in California. So we'd go out there into the buttes, and like do shit like fucking shoot guns and ride the four wheelers and whatever. But I got a bow and arrow one time, and we started buying like those like bundles of hay to like set up and put targets on. And I had like the normal drawstring one where it was just like the metal pole and like a piece of string. I didn't get like a compound bow or anything, so I used that for a while. I was practicing. I got kind of good at it.
Mm,
Nothing crazy. Then my grandma, when she found out that I was starting to get into archery, she like signed me up for lessons one time. Um, at like a place. and I was like, yeah, that's cool. Like, I don't know anything about archery. I've just been shooting arrows. So I was like, I guess we can try it out. And then like we went there and it was like the basic of the basic. It was like, this is an arrow. This is your bow. This is a quiver. This is how you load the arrow. And I'm like, oh shit, this is gonna be fucked. And then when they finally gave us time to like use the bow, they gave us compound bows. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be so fucking easy. So while she's sitting there trying to show everyone like how to position everything, I'm just like, boom, boom, and I'm like hitting the target. She's like, wow, you you know what you're doing. I'm like, yeah, let me just shoot for a while. I was like, I'm good. I was like, I've never used a compound bow. This feels fucking amazing. I would love to get a compound bow again.
Yeah, I think archery is pretty sweet. I mean, you see all the movies, like all the medieval fantasy type movies, like of course like Lord of the Rings. Like that was probably the first time I was ever like, oh, arrows, bows and arrows are pretty sweet.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause Legolas just fucking people up with those arrows and stuff. And then I can honestly say I think I've only shot an arrow one time, and it was my uncle's bow. But he had like an 80-pound draw on it, maybe 100-pound draw, and I was like 9, and there ain't no way I was pulling that thing back.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, like, it
Yeah.
just would not happen.
Especially if it's not a compound bow, because like the normal bows, I forget what they're called, but like it's all muscle. Like, because like with a compound bow, at least you go like 25 or 50% of the way, and then it locks the rest back. Like it like does the effort for you, and then you're able to like let go of it. But with the
Right.
real, with like one of those,
Like a recurve.
yeah, you have to just pull it all the way back, and then you have to like make sure you're steady enough to like release it, so you don't like kind of like gun recoil. Like you don't like
Right.
flinch into the shot when you shoot. You have to like make sure you're just straight and you like let go of the arrow.
Yeah, nice and easy.
Mm-hmm.
Release.
But man, the fucking
Is
rug
the-
burns you can get from the string is
Oh, yeah.
crazy. I've gotten black marks on my arm before.
Even at the professional level, they're taught to just let the string snap, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Even like Olympic shooters, they have the little like automatic release thing. So once the bow goes, it's just fucking.
Yeah. There's
So even
a lot
at
of-
the top level, it's you can't freely release a bow half the time,
Mhm.
which is really weird when you think about it.
Yeah, that's definitely a thing though. Like every time I go shooting, I have to like retrain myself to not push myself into the shot because you're anticipating the bullet. So what I do a lot of the time is I'll take the magazine out and I'll sit there and shoot, and I'll see if I like feel myself doing it, because obviously you're not going to shoot anything. So if you
Right.
feel yourself do that, you have to just practice a few times until you're like used to it again, and you won't like flinch.
Another cool thing you can do is if you're shooting handgun, do the dry fire thing to just acclimate yourself to the shooting.
Yeah,
If you
just-
put like a penny or a dime at the very end of the barrel, right on the front sight post, as long as whenever you pull the trigger, if your coin doesn't move, you know you're pretty steady. Now, if you start seeing it like flinch or fall off, all right, I'm jerking the trigger. I'm anticipating too much. Yeah,
Mhm.
that was a
Huh.
that was a nice thing to. I learned it a couple years ago, and it was something that helped me a lot.
Yeah.
Something to think about next time you go.
Yeah,
I don't have
what's
this
your
problem.
experience with guns out there in the UK, the land of full autos?
Yes, yeah. I've had maybe 4 to 5 instances where I've got to use like live rounds.
Mhm.
I've got to do like a lot of like simulated stuff,
Mhm.
but it's just like like pest control for the farms. Like they pay us like 50 quid to go out and get rid of like the predatory birds that were hanging around, shit like that.
And you're using live rounds. You're not using like salt pellets or anything.
No, it was only like 22. It was small
Oh.
caliber shit.
Okay.
So it's not like I'm not putting a 5.56 for a squirrel.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Get the
it's
deagle.
still just be sat up in a bar with a fucking
Yeah.
anti-material rifle taking this fucking fox's head
Yeah,
off.
Did I get
Little
it?
bats.
Well, you made a fucking crater in the dirt. We know that.
Just this red mist.
Mhm.
It makes the grass grow.
Yeah.
Obviously, I've told you two before about my my work experience when we got shipped off to Where was it? It was some barracks in like Scunthorpe or something like that. Got to go and do a week of like basic training for the army. It was pretty cool.
Oh, never heard about that one.
No,
Have I
haven't
not told you the story?
No.
Mm-mm.
Oh, yes,
Story
we
time.
got to do like story time. Yeah, so basically what they did was they took all the little shits and it was like, you're not doing work experience, you're going to the fucking army. So I was a little shit when I was in school, so I got sent off to the army.
Oh yeah.
Heck.
So it was like we got handed the fucking what's the rifle called? L56, L86. The standard issue British bullpup.
Is it,
I can't
is
remember.
it-
Oh, is it the Enfield or something? Is it an Enfield rifle?
It's one of the Enfields, yeah. I can't remember what it's called. I'm gonna have to look it up now.
Because this is a
I
grift
got
question.
it. You tell the story. I'll look it up.
So yeah, it was basically like we got handed one of these. It was like, this is yours. You are looking after this for the week. If this doesn't
Oh.
operate, you are going to get fucking punished.
The SA-80.
SK80, that's it.
It's a 5.56 by 45.
Hmm.
Been in service since 1987.
God. Here's your rusty piece
Yeah.
of shit. Make sure it operates.
We do have a new service rifle coming in, which is based off the M4 platform.
Okay. Wow, so you're now just getting to the World War II era. Congrats.
We are now getting to Vietnam.
Yeah. Just proud of you.
Yeah, it was like yeah.
Now, that SA-80 actually looked similar to I mean, it's very modern looking.
It's very like 80s sci-fi looking kind of
Oh, yeah.
bullpup rifle.
Yeah, and you wonder why we were able to colonize. Anyway.
All right.
Anyway. Yeah, it was yeah, here's this, look after this, here's all your kit. If anything's missing out your kit, you're gonna get punished. If you're not out for like parades at a certain time, you're gonna get punished. If you backtrack, you're gonna get punished. If you do fucking anything out of this perfect line that we have you in, you're going to get punished.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, welcome to the
Yeah.
army.
I got punished a lot in that week.
Oh, this is where your kink came from. The origins of your punishment kink.
Yeah. So it was shit like not being able to like perfectly repeat what was said to you.
Yeah.
And was like, okay, you weren't listening. You're now going to go and do grenades for 20 minutes.
Oh hell yeah, dude! Fucking, I'll do that. Sign
No,
me
no,
up.
no, 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 no. I don't know if you had anything similar. It's basically, here's a big muddy field. Run to that point and back. Every time I shout grenade, you are to dive to the fucking ground and crawl. You will then get up when I say clear, and you will do this for 20 minutes.
Mhm.
Never
It was
mind.
it was fucking horrible.
I thought it was like grenade lobbing training or something.
No,
I would have
it
been
was
like, yeah,
it-
punish me. Let me fucking lob
It's-
some shit.
It was run, and then like if you didn't get down fast enough when they shouted grenade, they just add 5 minutes on.
Oh, that's cute.
Like this got fucking drilled into you. It was like don't have your hands in your pocket, so you go into do grenades.
Yeah.
Don't do this, so you go into do grenades. It was like I think it was like day 3 off. I think it might have even been day 2, and it was literally I don't want to hear the word grenade again in my life.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't understand when people get out and they're like, yeah, I'd do it again. It's like, yeah, that's called Stockholm syndrome, you fucking weirdo. Like, all the horror stories I hear, and I was like, yeah, but it was pretty fun. I'm like, was it really? Or like,
Yeah, the PTSD is definitely worth it.
I always tell people, I'm like, it was the most fun I never want to have again.
yeah,
That's
Yeah.
probably a good way to put it.
yeah.
It's,
Well, I've got-
it's not the
Everybody,
experience itself. It's the people that you're with, and you're like, damn, this sucks. We're like, hey, we're doing it.
Yeah, you're doing it
That's
together.
The stuff that that's the stuff that you like remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was quite cool though. Like a lot of the shit we got to do, like we didn't expect to be able to do. Like we got like shown how to apply like the face camo.
Mhm.
We got shown how to like make a fucking ghillie suit.
Make a
Be-
ghillie suit?
How to make a ghillie suit.
Huh.
Obviously, it was very like condensed into like an hour. I'm like, oh yeah, like here, go
Yeah.
off and do this bit now.
Yeah.
We got to do a night stalk. We had like this fucking huge field. There was like a raised like platform in the middle of this field. So say we started like 500 yards out,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like we had to get as close to this platform without being spotted. So you'd have like pacers behind you walking in, and then like a flag would go up because they spotted someone, and then they'd shout out the pace of where the person is, and they just kind of fucking swing a stick about. And if they
Dude.
hit you, you had to stand up. It was
That's some sniper stuff right there.
Yeah.
Like sniper schools do that.
That's fun.
we got to do a lot of paintball as well.
I
It was
did.
ended up being us versus the staff at paintball.
That's another thing I
And
didn't
we
realize the kid was airsoft. I did a lot of
Dude,
airsoft.
airsoft was so
Airsoft.
good. I loved airsoft.
Yeah, we had like this dried up levee behind like because I was in like a smallish town in California, so we had like open fields and like farms and shit like that where I was. Like it was not that far away from us. You could just like drive like the edge of town and it would be farm field. So we had like this giant levee that we'd go there. I think I was probably in 7th or 8th grade, and like it was just the known thing where if you want to play airsoft, go meet at the levee at like 7 a.m. and like everyone who lived in this city would go there. So it would be like us with our like $20 or $30 fucking spring-loaded guns, and then like the high school and college kids with their hundreds of dollars worth of metal equipment. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna fucking die today. Like I literally saw someone in full fucking military issue ghillie, and he was just sitting there loading his pistol, which for me was like a plastic pistol. It was like a single shot spring load, right? This motherfucker, he pulled it out and he had like the zip wire magazine load. So like instead of like having like that little scroll wheel on the bottom to feed in the bullets, his was like zzz, 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 and it would load everything, and it was automatic. I'm like, if that's his sidearm. I was like, fuck, bro.
It's
It was
probably
fun.
CO2
rocking up with a
loaded.
fucking Browning machine gun. It's the
Right.
airsoft version.
Yeah.
Bro, you want to talk about people that go crazy? It's like, so some of the guys that I used to play with, they put a decent amount of money into their airsoft gear and guns, but my one friend, he did it. I don't know how he did it or how he carried it around all day. He ended up dropping $2,000 on a airsoft minigun.
Oh shit.
It was a giant backpack. Had like something the equivalent of like a car battery in it,
God.
and it could hold like 2 buckets of BBs. So each bucket's probably like 6 to 10,000 BBs in it,
Yeah.
and it could hold 2 of them.
He had
and
the
then it
fucking
had the-
fusion core Gatling gun is what he had.
Dude, he looked like he was just this little old dude, but he had this massive thing on his back. And then he come to realize that holy shit, this thing's heavy,
Yeah.
and he stopped using it. I was like, bro, you just dropped $2,000 on a thing you're never gonna use again. He goes, no, I'll use it again, and he didn't. He
I'm
didn't.
sure you can sell it again though for like at
Oh, yeah.
least 1,500.
But this
Get
was
most
like
of the money back.
This was back in like 2010.
Mm. Yeah. I had a few automatics, but they were like this tiny slim silver batteries you'd plug in. I had like an M4 that my dad had, and then he gave it to me once I started to get into it. And like you had to, because most of the modern magazines, it has like this little flap you open to fill BBs in, and then you have the scroll wheel. With this M4 though, you had this long plastic tube you would put into it, and then you'd fill the plastic tube with BBs, and then you would like musket cram the BBs into it, and like that's how you had to load it. I think later on I had gotten like an AK that was more modernized, but that one was my main weapon, so I had to make sure I had multiple ready magazines. So I'm not sitting there crouched on the ground trying to musket load my fucking thing. Yeah, that shit was fun, man. I miss that. That's definitely something I would love to pick back up if I had infinite money and time. Just
Yeah,
fucking
for sure.
buy an entire fucking operation suit and just like, all right, let's do this.
And you get kicked off the field because you kicked a 9-year-old in the face, like, oh, get on him.
Yeah. I pull out like a fucking like plastic or like foam knife, and I'm like, ah, I start like fucking meleeing him. Close quarters. No, I've always
This
wanted to
guy's
try those
crazy.
like claymores they have. Have you seen those? They have like BB
Yeah.
claymores.
I've seen them.
Yeah, like those and grenades. I think someone had bought a BB grenade one time and they had strung it to a tree, and then someone walked by it and tripped it off, and you just hear, "Oh fuck!" because he just got hit by like 300 BBs. And it was like, "Yeah, you're out."
Yeah. That's the one problem though with airsoft versus a paintball. It's like if you get shot with paintball, you can see the paint. You're like, all
Mhm.
right, I shot him.
Yeah,
You got people in airsoft that are getting lit up and they'll never call their shots.
yeah, it's definitely an honor system for sure.
Oh yeah.
Why you always aim for the eye?
Funny enough, I have gotten shot in the eye with a BB, and it is the most painful experience that I've ever gone through. I
Yep.
almost went blind to one of my eyes. We were it was just me and my buddies. We were doing like an airsoft day, and we were all cleaning up. Me and one of my friends, we were just fucking around. I mean, you know, it's not like we were in the right either, but we were sitting and shooting at each other's feet. Like, because normally we were super good about it. It was like nobody shoots unless the eye protection's on, and then like until everybody knows that we're shooting, like we were like, you know, very good about it. But you know, we were still kids, so we fucked around this one time. Me and him were shooting at each other's feet, and this one fuckwad in the group decided he was going to join in. So all he did was he like raised his rifle and shot, and it shot me like right here in the in the tear duct of my eye. And if he would have gone like an inch over, I would have been blind in my eye. But it was so like it was the most blood curdling scream that I had ever let out. So
I think the
yeah.
only thing that I've got similar to that, I went on a went on a stag do, and we were doing paintballing for one of the activities.
Mhm.
I was still half pissed at this point. Very heavy night of drinking the day before. So I'm like sat up against this like grassy knoll, it just hanging out my ass. But I don't want to be here. Poked my head over. The second my head went over, a paintball flew, smacked me right in the fucking Adam's apple.
Oh
I thought I was going to die on that field.
yeah.
Couldn't breathe. I'm sat there.
Yeah. And they walk over like, "Hey, you're out, by the way," and you're just like,
I'm nearly out of fucking life.
yeah, yeah. I know paintball hurts a lot more because those leave actual fucking like bruises because it's just, you know, it's just thick balls of paint. I've never tried paintball. I would love to, but I always
Same.
did airsoft.
Definitely
that
wear
do
more
paintball-
padding.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, people that do paintball are a whole different breed of people, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Have you seen the
They get
professional
the double, like,
paintball?
trrrr, and that's all they do is they'll just sit there and just shoot all day. Then they just dump the freaking paintballs in. Like they don't even care if they lose them. They're just like, 70% of them will get in here.
Yeah, they just dump all over the floor. That's the other thing, right? Is because the airsoft field was also used for paintball, so we'd always find like full paintballs just all over the ground.
Picking them up and fucking lobbing them.
Yeah, I don't think it would break, but it would definitely hurt.
Probably hurt more that it wouldn't break.
Well, yeah.
If you got like a good throw on it, it'd fucking sting.
Yeah, that's the other thing with paintball too, is like you want it to break on you, because if it doesn't, it's gonna hurt fucking more. Because there's a chance they won't break.
Another 20 minutes ago, another thing that I've always wanted to do, but I've never really mentioned is woodworking. I
Yeah.
always thought like being able to like carve and make intricate details out of wood with like chisels or saws and all sorts of things. Like I see people do that kind of work. My stepdad actually did that one time. My sister was very little, and she had this hand-me-down. Yeah, your camera's doing something funny.
Yeah.
Had this hand-me-down toy box from when I was a kid, and so then it was me, my brother, my other brother, then her. Well, by the time it got down to her, it was like so old and just ugly looking. So my stepdad made her a toy box, and on the trim, he carved out this like really nice swivel pattern, but he had to put them all around the sides and on the bottom. So he sat there for days making this little swivel pattern. I was like, "How did you do that?" He goes, "Oh, I just started doing it and took a lot of wood, a lot of trial and error, and but I got it." I was like, "Dude, I would love to do that kind of stuff. It looks so nice."
I did ceramics for one semester of high school, and I can tell you ceramics is a bitch. It's fucking hard. I didn't know how much intricacy there was into it until I actually did it. Because like even to start out, you have to like mold the clay in a certain way to where there's no air bubbles in it. Because if you put it in the kiln and there's air bubbles, it'll either break or crack or swell up or whatever. So you got to make sure there's zero fucking bubbles. So what you would do is you'd sit there and you'd like mold it in a certain way, and then you'd have to cut it to make sure there's no air bubbles. But then since you cut it, you'd have to redo it. So like you just kind of had to like once you're like, yeah, I think I got the routine, you would just have to hope. And then you'd have to like if you wanted like to attach things, you'd have to wet and score it and then like put the two pieces together, and it's such a fucking bullshit thing. Our teacher was really good at it though. She like made, I don't even know if this was legal because she was using the school's clay to like do personal things, but she was like, yeah, my daughter's moving into her own place, so I'm gonna make her an entire like fucking like set of like dishes. And I was like, you're doing this with our school clay and on like, you know, school hours. Because like
who cares?
well, a lot of the time she was like, well, we're out of clay, so we have to wait so we can get more. And it was like while you're sitting here making an entire china set. It's like I wonder where all of our fucking clay is going.
Yeah, if that's the case, then yeah, I could see that being an issue.
Yeah. It was fun though. I don't know if I kept anything that I made. I made a few things. I made like the blue spirit mask from Avatar. There's a few other like niche little things we made. I think for the most part we did like a few actual assignments where it was like, this is what we're making. But then for the most part she was like, creativity is part of ceramics, so just you have like a week or two to make this project, and then like you just had to make something, which was kind of cool.
It does sound pretty nice.
Yeah, it was a chill little thing.
I made a dinosaur when I was, I don't know how old I was, probably 8, 9. Made the ceramics and stuff. And granted, I had a teacher basically make it for me. All I had to do was paint it, and then be like, "Oh, I just want to take it to the oven," and then they put it in the oven for me, and then like a day later, I got it back. But I had this little dinosaur for years. Heck, I think my mom still has it, but that was all because of a ceramic class that I took. It wasn't even school oriented. It was like a thing on the side. Aunt signed me up for.
So why did she just make it for you?
Well, it was like a class. Like I said, it wasn't for the school. It was like somewhere out in town. Like this pottery art class was like, hey, come in and do this, and it's only so much money for a class. Well, I think it's because I was real little. I was a kid, and I was like, I want to make a dinosaur. I didn't have the motor skills to make a dinosaur or have the understanding of how to work clay and things. So it was one of those kinds of, kind of like how those paint and sip classes are, where it's like, oh, come into class and bring your wine or whatever it is you want to do, and we're going to paint a tree. Then you get there and the tree's already stenciled out. And the teacher's like, yeah, put these colors together to do this. And you kind of just listen and do it yourself. So it's like, yeah, you did it yourself, but you didn't do it from scratch.
Yeah.
So
I've never been able to paint for shit. Like I've been able to sketch and doodle and stuff like that, but when it comes to painting, I'm miserable at it. I don't know what it is. It's like such a different subsection of art. It's crazy.
Can Yuki?
I somehow got a in art with no artistic capabilities.
Well,
I can't draw. I can sketch, but I can't transition it from like a rough sketch to like a final image. I can't paint for shit.
I think with a lot of those classes though, it's like if you put the effort in, they'll give you a good grade. It's less about your skill.
Ended up making a Mario out of Game Boy cartridges for my final project, and they'd be like, "Yep, that's an A." I was like, "Oh, okay."
So what you had a bunch of Game Boy cartridges and you put them all together until they made a Mario?
That's cool.
Wait, how expensive was that project, brother? Because you do a bunch of Game Boy cartridges, like, were they just like the cartridge with nothing on them, or what?
It was just the empty cartridges.
Just plastic
okay.
shells.
And then I'd painted them to match where I needed them to go.
I was gonna say you
Gotcha.
got 600 copies of fucking Pokemon Emerald, and you're just stacking them all together to make. I was like,
Yeah.
that's a lot of money.
$6 billion in, like nowadays if you were to trade those in, and he's sitting there painting them.
Yep.
Yeah, that makes
Imagine how
sense.
expensive that would have been.
Right. Such an expensive,
nuts.
like, how much? Where do you even get empty cartridges from?
There was I can't think of what shop it was.
I'm sure now
Is
you
it
could just.
online?
Back in the day,
No,
probably not.
there was a physical shop that I went to, and they sold the like just the blank like plastic cartridges, but I can't for the fucking life. It was probably a one-off shop that was in like the town that I lived in.
Probably.
I don't think it was like a massive like retail shop.
Yeah, sounds like it would be a hole in the wall.
But I'd literally walked in and was like, right, I need like 462 of these cartridges, and it was like, sweet, what's it for? I was like, so just explain what it was. It didn't, I can't even remember if the guy charged me, so I think I might have just got these empty cartridges for nothing.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I'm sure. I mean, if it's just a plastic shell, I'm sure it wouldn't cost him very much to get those to begin with. So it'd probably be like maybe 10 cents a pop.
Looking back, I don't know what dodgy shit he was up to with
Yeah.
several hundred empty Game Boy cartridges. But
Yeah, just emulating games and putting them in plastic shells.
oh, this 100% legitimate Nintendo products.
Yeah.
I didn't copy and paste anything. What are you talking-
Yeah.
What are these ROMs you keep talking of?
Speaking of copy and paste, freaking, what happened to freaking bootleg movies like DVDs and stuff? Obviously, everything's going digital, but like,
They died off because of streaming.
yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Like, because you had things like Cody, which was just as soon as it's in cinemas, it's on the fucking internet.
Yeah,
Like
there's tons of
pre-COVID,
websites for that crap.
and
yeah.
now it's funny. I watched something last night about this. It was the box office comparisons at like the peak of like 2019 to the peak of like last year, and it's ridiculous the difference now. Like so many things are going straight onto streaming services. They're not making
Yeah.
any fucking money at the box office.
Yeah. A lot of things
No.
will be like in theaters and streaming on this thing same day. It's like, well,
Yeah.
what's the point?
Why would I go and spend 5 times the amount to go and watch it in a cinema with people that are going to be on the fucking phones talking?
Mm-hmm.
When I could be sat at home tucked up on my couch
Yeah.
with food that didn't cost me my firstborn,
Yeah, fucking pants off, chilling on the couch, no noise.
and I can just pause it when I want, and I can you just do your own shit. There's no point in going to the cinemas anymore.
I mean, there is still that experience of it, right? Like,
Unless it's something like that, like you need like that like sound system to
to enjoy.
get the
Yeah.
full experience.
like the new Godzilla or
Yeah. Well, I mean, even
Uh,
Eric was saying yesterday that they're gonna re-release the Lord of the Rings trilogy in 4K in theaters.
oh my god,
It's gonna be the extended editions too.
dude, whoever signs up for those movies is going to be in a great treat for their life. However, they better have fucking 4, 5, 6 hours dedicated
Yeah,
to one movie.
and a fucking
'Cause those-
catheter.
Yeah, because those extended versions of those movies, they don't play.
Yeah,
It's like just like the base. Let's see, what is the base time for the first Lord of the Rings?
like 3.5
Um,
hours or some shit.
3.5 hours. I'm pretty sure the extended's just under 5.
Yeah,
I think
Yes.
I think to watch the Free Lord of the Rings and the Free Hobbit films in the extended versions, it comes up to like 47 hours.
Yeah, it says the Fellowship of the Rings original 178-minute runtime is extended to 228. Two
4.5
Towers is
hours.
the Two Towers is 179 and stretched to 235.
God.
Return of the King is 201 and it's stretched to 263. The extended version adds a whole other hour and 2 minutes onto it for Return of the King. So yeah, like y'all better have time to go watch the movies. Like
Yeah,
they're great.
I don't know if it's all in one run or if they're gonna be individual.
I'm sure it would be individuals, but still.
Fuck, bro, you're gonna have to like pop a tent up in the theater. Yeah. All right, piss break, everybody.
We're going back to drive-ins. It's just a shitload of tents.
I did that about 2 years ago. Me and my ex, we got to talking about Lord of the Rings. She was like, "Yeah, I've never seen it." I was like, "Oh, let's watch it." So started off with the three Hobbit movies, and then we did the three Lord of the Rings movies, and I made sure that they were the extended versions. And then I fell asleep, and I guess she had stayed up to watch them.
Mm-hmm.
And I woke up in the middle of the night, heard her cry, and I was like, "What's wrong? Are you okay?" She's like, "This is the saddest fucking movie I've ever seen." I was like, "What's wrong?" She goes, "Frodo, and this." She was just like, "I love these movies." I was like, "Damn, you watched them while I was in bed?" She goes, "Yeah, I just watched the entire last movie while you were sleeping." I was like, "That's like
God,
6 hours." She's
that's
like, "I
crazy.
know."
I've watched
You-
the Hobbit movies, but I've never watched Lord of the Rings. I think I've watched Fellowship. Like as a kid, my dad's like the biggest fucking nerd I know. He likes Marvel and Star Wars and Lord of the Rings, all that shit, because he's like grown up on it. So when I was younger, he tried to get me into Lord of the Rings. I think this was before Hobbit even came out, and he was like, he had like a little man cave in our garage. It was like one of those like sectioned garages where it's like the two main car, then you have like the single car. So we turned the single car into like a room. And like that was like his man cave. So like he set that up with like the TV, and he got all the Lord of the Rings movies ready, and like got all comfy. Because he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna like watch these all with you." It's like it's gonna be like a bonding thing. And we watched the first one, and I think I was too young, so I'm like, "Fuck, there's so much talking going on. Like this is boring as shit." And we watched it. Like I didn't complain or anything. I think we watched through the first one. And then he was like, "Do you want to keep going?" And I'm like, "Maybe another time."
Yeah.
I just never got through them all. Hobbit's good though. I liked all the Hobbit movies. I think I was a little older to be able to enjoy those.
Yeah, I think the Hobbit ones are a lot easier to watch the first time round than
Mhm.
the Lord of the Rings are.
Yeah.
Seems to be a less
Yeah.
like less breaks in between the action
Yeah.
than what there is in the
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings.
Right.
Because like when they get to, I think it's in the Fellowship when they get to like the elf place,
That's
and it's
tons
like
of talking.
it's just like an hour and a half of just fucking yapping.
Yeah.
You get like a 5-minute action section, and then an hour and a half of conversation, and then 10 minutes of something else, and then like 10, 15 minutes of action. It's more talking.
Yeah, it's like the first Star Wars trilogy. It's just all fucking government talk.
Yeah. No, I am your father, which is crazy because everyone thinks he says, "Luke, I am your father." He never says.
What does he say?
He says, "No, I am your father." He goes, "You killed my father." He goes, "No, I am your father," and everyone's
Oh.
like, "Yeah,
It was one of those
Mandela."
Yeah.
Mandela effects.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them
Heck, we-
really fuck with your head, though.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, like the fucking Fruit Loops one.
Oh, about how it's spelled like actual Fruit Loop, and it's
Yeah.
not fruit with OOT. Yeah, or something.
And,
Then
like
you have Pikachu. Yeah, his tail.
Pikachu's tail,
Oh, having the brown tip on it.
and being a fucking lightning bolt. It was never a lightning bolt, and there was never a brown tip.
What do you mean it was never a lightning bolt?
Like the end of it was never like sharp. It was fucking like curved.
Oh, it was like it was like squared off.
Yeah,
Mhm.
well, yeah, it was squared off. I thought you were gonna talk about like the heart tail, and I'm like, well, that's a female Pikachu.
Oh yeah, the heart shape's female, don't you? What other ones is there? You got the Bernstein
The
Bernstein
Bernstein
bears.
Bears. Yeah, yeah. Everyone says the Berenstein Bears, but it's actually Bernstein Bears.
The Monopoly guy, where we had
Yeah.
a monocle or not.
He doesn't
Yeah.
have a monocle apparently.
I don't think
Now
what
the
other ones there is now.
Mr. Peanut does.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's what everyone's getting mixed up because they both have top hats and they're both like a suit and they're all posh and
There's quite a few out there. I can't think of any at the moment, but
heck,
That's
we
the
can.
first time I've heard American use the word posh.
It's all pish posh, ain't it?
well, we have to, dive into
This
your
point- This
linguistics.
point into the British side, yeah.
We
I
need to
will
make you
be.
feel comfortable.
I'll be very honest. Sometimes my vocabulary is a little out there, and I'll say stuff and be like, "What?
The fuck did that come
What?"
from?
It's like, yeah, that's the correct word to use, but who in their right mind fucking uses that word?
Yeah.
Or I'll sit there and have an internal monologue and battle with myself about like, oh, this is what I should say. But like, nah, that sounds a little too sophisticated. Maybe I should say this. And by the time I actually come up with something, they've already looked at me for 30 seconds like, bro, are you good?
Yeah. I've
Like,
definitely
you
done that.
just stopped.
Oh, like I'll say something, I'm like, oh, that was fucking like overly posh and cringe.
Yeah.
Like the linguistics of it were just like too firm.
What am I? Thesaurus?
Yeah.
I used to do it all the time when I was when I was talking to like the other managers. I'd get like really formal. It's like, hang on a second.
Yeah.
This isn't how we conversate. Like,
No.
On that topic, do you guys have a fucking customer service voice?
yes, and I hate it.
Bro, that's like one of my biggest icks is customer service voices. It pisses me off. Whether you're somebody that I'm talking to as a customer or you are a fellow employee, I fucking like shut up. Talk to me like I'm a human, not a 3-year-old. I hate this shit.
Now, I mean, I'll talk to somebody on the phone the exact way I'm talking to you guys, except obviously if I don't know them or if it's like something really important, I won't cuss.
Yeah.
If I'm on the phone with my bank, I'm not gonna be like, yeah, there was $367 fucking dollars in there yesterday, and what the fuck? Like, I
Yeah.
ain't gonna do that.
My
But
dear sir, there was 300 in my bank account and thy not there no more. It's like, hello, who the fuck are you?
yeah, but yeah, no, I don't think I have a customer service.
Well, there was a few weeks ago where I had an AirPod in while I was at work, and it was like Squash and Amsley and a few other people were like listening to like my basically like my day to day with customers. Amsley got a fucking kick out of it. I've never heard her laugh the way that she did.
Yeah.
I remember this.
Yeah. Oh, were you there?
Yeah, the guy that actually what was it? He actually thought a real metal tape.
Yeah, you were
like
there
some-
because anytime I talked to every time I tried to talk to a customer, they'd start saying some fuck shit, and I was trying to keep my composure. And I had like fucking like Amsley like moaning in my ear and shit. I was like, oh god. Yeah, that's what cracked her up. Was a guy came up to me. He was looking for like that aluminum tape you use for like stovepipes and shit. But he was like, do you guys have like metal tape, like aluminum? Like it was just like a weird sentence. He was like, do you guys have aluminum tape? Like it's metal. I was like, yeah. But like for some reason that just killed Amsley. But yeah, they were like, you don't have like a customer service voice. Like it's so weird hearing you talk to customers. And I'm like, yeah, because they're fucking humans. And like
Right.
I know from my personal experience, I actually enjoy an employee more if they talk to me like down to earth. And they're not like, hey, how are you today? Oh my god. Like no. I go up to customers like, hey man, what can I do for you? And and they're like, oh, I'm doing pretty good. And it's like, it makes it more human.
I think the difference with the customer service voice is when you can tell they're putting on a customer service voice.
Yeah.
It's like my customer service voice is really similar to my normal voice,
Mm-hmm.
but I speak a bit slower
Okay.
and like enunciate certain things differently.
See, that's
It's not like
fine.
I'm like, oh my god, tell what?
You're cutting out so much.
You just scream.
Yeah, you're like, No, I had a few friends where they work like like the actual customer service desk where they have to deal with like returns and complaints and all that kind of shit. And I'll be talking to behind the desk and they're talking like this, and as soon as I turn around, they're like, "Hey, how's it going today, sir?" And I'm like, "Oh my god, this is what we're doing now." Yippee!
Oh wow.
Yeah, and I'll sit there and mock them once they're gone, or if they're on the phone, I'll do it with them. They're like, "Shut up!" I'm like, "No, you shut up!" Like, what is this? Like,
Dude, my mom, she does this and she swears up and down it's not a customer service voice or any kind of alternate like change in her personality. But if she's on the phone with somebody that's not like family or a friend, let's just say like she gets a package delivered and like the store's calling like, "Oh, so your package is here." She'd be like, "Oh, okay. Well, thank you so much." Yeah, okay.
oh,
Yep, thank you. Bye bye. I'm like, you don't, first of all, you're from the South. You don't say bye bye. You say bye.
Bye.
Like I've heard you talk. You don't say that. And then her laugh is what gives it away. It's the little
Yeah.
right. Yeah. I'm like, and we will make fun of her while she's on the phone. And then she's like, she has to like put the phone away from her face, and then her real laugh comes out. I'm like, do that.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
your real laugh.
I hate it so much. That reminds me, there's a customer, I think he's like my favorite customer I've gotten in the 3 years I've worked here. He gave me like Boston vibes, because like it was like he had like a bit of an accent. And I couldn't tell if it was like Jersey or if it was Boston or something. It could have been Jersey. But he was like he was asking about like a mailbox. He was like I don't remember like the exact words he used, but he was just so like fuck it, kind of guy. It's like, yo, he's like, what's the cheapest fucking mailbox I can get? And I was like, I think your best option would be this one. Honestly, I'm like, just like some simple plastic one. He's like, yeah, that'll do. He's like, that'll do. He's like, so if I wanted to like attach this shit to like a post, he's like, what the fuck? Like, what am I doing? And so then I pointed something out. He's like, yeah, he's like, you're a smart fucking kid. He's like, I like you. He's like, that's gonna work. He's like, that's gonna work. And then he was like, oh, I need one of these. He's like, get your handsome ass up there. He's like, get that thing for me.
Whoa.
Yeah, I was like, bro, I fucking love this guy. Like, he like made my day. His energy was just all over the place.
You know, shit customers are definitely the best ones.
Yeah, I
We
love that guy.
We used to have two women that came into one of the stores at same time every week. They'd come after they'd been swimming. They'd pop in and say hello. Every fucking week, without fail, bang on 7:15. All I'd hear through the door is, "Where's my fucking chicken?"
I can imagine that shit. Oh yeah, where's my fucking chicken?
It was just this little old she wasn't old. She was in like her late 50s. She just walked for the door. She'd be like, "Where's my fucking chicken?" And she'd come in. She'd stand there. She go, "I don't want that bread. It looks a bit weird on the end." And she'd sit there and I'd cycle through these fucking breads until
funny.
how much she was comfortable with. And she'd be like, "Yep, put my chicken all the way up to the edges. I don't want any fucking empty bread. I want chicken all the way up to the edges." She was like, "There's fucking empty bread there."
There is. I will say,
Was she
there is
doing
a
it
fine line.
No,
you
she, what were you saying, bro, Griff?
I was saying, was she like jokingly being hard to please, or was she just like that was her?
No,
Like,
that was just
an
her
ass.
personality.
Oh,
She was
okay.
just fucking. She wasn't being an ass with it. It was a very like a to and fro interaction every time she came in.
Yeah.
It's like she'd walk in and be like, "Oh, I'm not fucking serving you this week," and I'd walk off in the back.
That's the thing, is there, like I was gonna say, there's a very fine line between like being a joking ass and like not giving a fuck, and then being like a Karen. There's a very fine line between the two of them, and you gotta like have the personality for it, or it's just like, fuck you. Like, I actually am not serving you today. But my favorite thing was back when I had like the bun, like the man bun, and like a big beard. It's like, oh look, the guy in hardware with a giant fucking beard and a man bun. He looks like he knows what he's doing. And I'd always get that too. They'd come up to me and be like, "You look like you're the fucking guy to talk to." And I'm like, "I'm not," but thanks. I love that.
Thanks for the boosted confidence, but I have no fucking idea what I'm doing.
Yeah. I mean, I have a little bit more knowledge now, just from fucking, rinse and repeat. But it was definitely funny.
It's like, can you tell me what kind of wood I need to get for a kitchen floor? But like, I'm gonna suggest something hard.
Yeah.
And something made of wood.
Yeah.
It's like
Like,
maybe
what
maybe a nice hardwood.
Yeah. Don't go with that softwood shit.
it's squishy.
At the same time, though, there's the customers that expect me to know everything about everything. It's like, do I, as a 23-year-old, look like I have fucking like X plumbing and construction experience? Like, someone will come to me and be like, "I need this," and it's like some random piece of PVC, and I'm like, that tells me nothing. And they're like, "Well, don't you work here?" And it's like, yes, but I can't tell you the 10,000 items we carry in store and all of their own individual uses. Like, a lot of the time our customers are construction workers and like contractors, and they're asking me questions. I'm like, "Isn't this your job?" Like I'm working a fucking retail job, brother. You're the one that's actually going out there and building shit.
I just sell you the parts.
Exactly.
Used to get it with obviously with food and like allergens and like
Mhm.
dietary requirements, all that type of shit. The amount of people that would come in and be like, "Does this have gluten in it?" I was like, I don't fucking know.
yeah.
Brother, it's bread.
Probably does.
It's fucking bread.
Yeah.
Where did your beef come from? Which farm?
Yeah.
It's like
Oh,
I'm
out
supposed
back.
to know
I
that.
just slaughtered it this morning,
It-
actually.
it comes in a blue bag.
Yeah.
It comes frozen in a blue bag. That is all of the information I can give you about that
Right.
steak.
Yeah.
it's like I got this out of a Tyson chicken truck.
I had a woman. She came in. She was like, "Your tuna. What ocean's it caught in?"
Oh, that's cute.
And I was like, "The fucking blue one."
The one with salt in it.
Bro,
Like, is it line caught or is it net caught? And I was like,
why does that matter?
it's a fucking fish, man.
Yeah,
You're gonna
that's-
eat it the same way.
Yeah, that makes no fucking sense. Dude, if I could be myself to the customers, my job would be so much more enjoyable. Like if I just had free reign to talk to customers. Cause like sometimes one of the biggest things is that I'll get them to come up to me and they're like, "Where's your bathroom?" And the line I've been able to find that's like not an insult but still makes them feel like a dumbass, as I'll be like, "You see that sign up there that says restroom?" And they're like, "Oh yeah." So like that's what, like, it's like stuff like that. But I'm like, I want to be like, "Can you fucking read? Have you looked up? We have signs all over the store, and that one says
Use your-
restroom with an arrow."
Yeah. Use your eyes for fucking 5 seconds.
Yeah.
I used to work in retail and I used to get that all the time too. And our sign for the restroom was massive.
Mhm.
Like it was like its own little spot on the wall, and it'd be
Yeah.
like restroom, and people come up, be like, "Where's your restroom?" And I just look back there, I see that sign on the wall. They're like, "Oh yeah, thank you." I'm like, "Yep."
Yeah.
It's like,
Sometimes
you get lost, come back and tell me, and I'll walk you to it.
sometimes I'll be a little more detailed with it and like make them find it. I'll be like, "So you see down there, like you see the light bulb aisle? Now look up, you see it says aisle 1. Now look a little bit to the left," and they're like, "Oh." And I'm like, "Yeah. No."
Get out of my face. I'm trying to put screws back in the fucking thing.
Or that's the big one too, is screws. We have a sign for aisle 13 that says screws, and they are like, "Where's the screws at?" And I'm like, "The screws sign that we're
Yeah.
in front of, like not even 5 feet in front of you, screws." And they're like, "Oh."
I need 3-inch carpenter screws. Like, well, right down there.
Yeah. Or they'll
Where
hand
at
me a
on aisle
screw.
13? I don't know. Why don't you fucking look?
Yeah, I got people that will hand me a screw and be like, "I need this," and like I've actually gotten to the point where I can find it for them. But like when I first worked there, I'm like, "This tells me nothing. You've handed me a screw, and we've got about 10,000 of these alone."
You need to reverse it. Be like, "Oh, where was this tuna caught from?" And be like, "Oh yeah, is that steel or is that nickel plated copper coating?" Like,
Yeah. Well, that's the thing
I need
too.
to know exactly. People are like, "I don't know. It's just a screw."
Yeah. Well, depending on the item, sometimes I actually cannot help unless I have more information. And they won't be able to give me the information like, "What, you can't like do anything with this?" I'm like, "No. Learn
Yeah.
what the fuck you need first before coming to me." Like somebody once was like, "I need to put something into concrete." I'm like, "Okay, so you're probably gonna need like a concrete anchor." I'm like, "Do you know the length, or do you know where in like where's the job at?" She's like, "I don't know." I'm like, "Okay, well, how thick is the concrete? Because I'm gonna need to know how thick it is in order to like know how big your anchor's gonna need to be." She's like, "I don't know." And I'm like, "Okay, well then I don't know." Like,
Make some phone calls and then come back to me later.
right. Like they
Yeah.
expect you to just be like, "Oh yes, I know the exact job that you're thinking of. In my mind, we're synced now. We're blood brothers. Let me find that screw for you."
The
Well,
best
yeah,
one
best.
when they come in and you like, especially with food. Like you go into Subway, you know what you're getting.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting a fucking sandwich,
Mm-hmm.
or you're getting a salad. There's not really that much
Well, if you
variation.
go to Subway for a salad, you got other issues.
When I say people have come into Subway on multiple times, and asked for like a fucking pizza or a burger or fucking French fries, it was like, look up there. That is what we do.
Yeah.
Tell me where the fuck on that says pizza or a fucking burger or anything about French fries. Because if we did French fries, I'd be about 4 stone heavier. But we
Right.
don't, so I'm not.
Yeah, not the stones.
I don't.
Yeah, what? Real quick, Hugo. What is a stone equivalent to in pounds or kilograms?
14 pounds?
14. 1 stone is 14 pounds.
I think so.
God, like,
Stones in
that's so much extra work. Because then you have to multiply the amount of stones by 14.
yeah, 14 pounds in a stone.
Is there pebbles and boulders too, or is it just stones?
We have gravel, which is like half a gram.
Are you,
Oh
are you
yeah,
being
well, I weigh
serious?
about fucking 14 stones and a piece of gravel. It's like, no.
So mine a bit of in question. I was taking the piss. Then he went,
You know what? At this point, I wouldn't be surprised.
At first, I thought you were being serious, and I saw your lip quiver, and I was like, this guy's fucking with me.
Oh man. Well, we have gone a little bit over.
Hey, it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, we're vibing. I didn't want to cut off the conversation, but I think that's a good natural ending. You Crow, it's your turn to end today.
I ended yesterday.
Yesterday?
I ended last week.
I was gonna say I didn't really realize we recorded yesterday.
True.
Oh, we were
Alright.
supposed to record yesterday.
All right,
weren't we?
Griff, take us out then.
Brother, it's supposed to be you. But I will.
I
for
did the
sake
intro,
of it-
you fuck.
Ladies and gentlemen, everyone listening, appreciate you being here. This is 3 guys, no script. Thanks for listening to our podcast. Please come back next week. Who the hell knows what we're going to be talking about next week, but hopefully it's something you guys will enjoy. But I'm Griff. Ukro's down there fighting flies, and DB Minor off on the side, and we will talk to you later. Peace.
Later, guys.
Bye.